Hello and good morning, everyone, especially to our gorgeous, kind, and approachable advisor, and at the same time, our Practical Research 1 teacher, Mrs. Aurelia Guhitia. Ma'am, good morning. This is Group 8 and allow us to introduce ourselves. I am Jesrix Bayawa.
I'm Prolchino Vilanggidu.
I am Christine Arcayos.
I'm Shena Rose Kivenkan.
And I'm Giancarlo Rafael C. Pantarilla.
And we will going to present and discuss the 3 lessons contained in this module.
The first lesson is the characteristics, processes, and ethics of research.
Second is the difference of quantitative research from qualitative research.
Third and last lesson is the examples of research in areas of interest.
Are you all guys ready? Well then, if yes, let us start the discussion. So we have here the first lesson. Describes the characteristics, processes, and ethics of research. We have already talked about the importance of research in daily life, and it helps us realize the role of research in daily life. Now, we will describe the characteristics, processes, and ethics of research. Research has various characteristics. So what are these characteristics? First is empirical. Your research must be based on observations and experimentations of theories. This involves your direct experiences in conducting research. As a researcher, you cannot just do any magic in coming up with data. You need to experience doing it. Second one is systematic. Your research follows orderly and sequential procedures. It must be based on valid procedures and principles. You cannot just jump to a conclusion without undergoing the steps. Third characteristic is controlled. In research, all variables, except those tested or experimented on, are kept constant. Fourth is analytical. The data you have gathered must be analyzed critically so that there is no error in coming up with interpretations. The fifth characteristic is objective. As a researcher, your research must be unbiased and logical. All findings must be logically based on empirical data, which are based on real-life situations. Sixth is original work. This implies that the research requires effort to get at the researcher's investigation and produce the data needed to complete the study. Seventh and last characteristic of research is replicability. The research findings, research design, and procedures can be repeated to enable the researcher to arrive at valid and conclusive results. Research also has stages of undergoing, which require your patience and perseverance. It would be best if you exerted efforts to have quality output. Below is a diagrammatic presentation of the steps when doing research. First step is define research problem. Second is review the literature. Third is formulate hypothesis. Fourth step is design research. Fifth is collect data. Sixth is analyze data. Then seventh is interpret and report. Then finally, the eighth step is Define research problem.
Doing research requires ethical principles. This means that you need to prepare an informed consent form to be signed by your informants participating in individual or group interviews. This is important as it promotes essential values such as trust, accountability, mutual respect, and fairness. Important ethics or moral issues in research. Honesty. Strive for honesty in all scientific communications. Honesty report data, results, methods and procedures, and publication status. Do not publish, falsify, or misrepresent data. Do not deceive colleagues, research sponsor, or the public. Objectivity. Strive to avoid bias in experimental design, data analysis, data interpretation, peer review, personal decisions, grant writing, expert testimony, and other research aspects where objectivity is expected or required. Avoid or minimize bias or self-deceptions. Integrity. Keep your promises and agreements. Act with sincerity. Strive for consistency of true and action. Carefulness. Avoid careless errors and negligence. Carefully and critically examine your own work and the work of your peers. Keep good records of research activities. Openness. Share data, results, ideas, tools, and resources. Share your findings, especially with your informants or respondents. Intellectual property. Honor patents, copyrights, and other forms of intellectual property. Do not use and publish data, methods, or results without permission. Give proper acknowledgement or credit for all research contributions. Never plagiarize. Confidentiality. Protect confidential communications such as paper or grants submitted for publication, personal records, trade or military secrets, and patient records. Responsible publication. Publish to advance research and scholarship, not to advance just your career. Avoid wasteful and publicative publication. Social responsibility. Strive to promote social good and prevent or mitigate social harms through research, public education, and advocacy. Legality. Know and obey relevant laws and institutional and governmental policies. Non-discrimination. Avoid discrimination against colleagues or students based on sex, race, ethnicity, or other factors not related to scientific competencies and integrity. Human subjects protection. When researching human subjects, minimize harms and risks, minimize benefits, respect human dignity, privacy, and autonomy. Take special precautions with vulnerable populations and strive to distribute the benefits and burdens of research fairly.
Lesson 2 differentiates quantitative research from qualitative research.
Qualitative research. Qualitative research is primarily investigate. It is used to gain an understanding of people's reasons, opinions, and motivations. It provides insights into the existing problem, issue, or phenomena. It dives deeper into the problem. Qualitative data collection methods vary using unstructured or semi-unstructured techniques. The methods in gathering the data include focus groups or group discussions, individual interviews, participation or observations, field notes and reflection, ethnography, and literature review. The most common research objectives are to explore, discover, and construct. The type of data collected include words, images, or subjects. In doing the data analysis, you need to identify patterns, features, and themes. The sample size is typically small, and participants are chosen to provide the necessary data. The presentation of data is in narrative style, extracts and direct quotations from research participants. To sum up, qualitative research involves collecting and analyzing non-numerical data to understand concepts, opinions, or experiences. It deals with words and meanings and allows us to explore concepts and experience in more detailed way.
Quantitative research is used to quantify the problem. It is used to quantify attitudes, opinions, behaviors, and other defined variables. When we say to quantify, it means to measure. Thus, quantitative research allows you to test hypotheses. This can be done by generating numerical data using statistical tools to analyze and interpret the data. Remember that numerical refers to numbers. Quantitative research has a larger sample population who will answer the questionnaires based on multiple numeric answers. The most common research objectives are to describe, explain, and predict. An example of a quantitative research is, how has the average temperature changed globally over the last century, which is fact-based, measurable, and observable. Objectives basically means representing facts. Quantitative research uses measurable data to formulate facts. It is much more structured than qualitative data collection methods. It uses a structured and validated data collection instruments. Such structured methods helps in collecting in-depth and actionable data from the respondents. And the quantitative data collection methods include various forms of surveys, online surveys, paper surveys, longitudinal studies, website interceptors, online polls, and systematic observations. Presentation of data is in tables and graphs, statistic analysis, and comparison with data obtained. This makes it easy to understand the data that has been collected as well as prove the validity of the research. The final report consists of a statistical reports with correlations, comparison of means, and statistical significance of findings. Generally speaking, quantitative research is the process of collecting and analyzing numerical data to find patterns and averages, make predictions, and test causal relationships through data expressed as numbers.
So finally, we have arrived at the third and last lesson, which is provides examples of research in areas of interest.
Types of research and their examples. Applied research is designed to solve everyday problems existing in this modern world. Its purpose is not to gain new knowledge, but to improve the human condition. It is used to find solutions to everyday problems, current illnesses, develop technologies. For examples, bullying in senior high school, basis for intervention program. Basic research or fundamental research is designed to answer scientific questions out of scientists' curiosity or interest. Its purpose is to encompass humans' knowledge and to create or invent things. It does not necessarily produce results of practical value. Example, possible cure for COVID-19. Correlation research is designed to establish a relationship or association between two or more variables through experimental manipulation. It involves a systematic investigation or statistical study of relationships among two or more variables. Examples, the effectiveness of modular instruction to students' academic performance. Descriptive research refers to the research that provides an accurate portrayal of a particular situation or group. It is also known as statistical research. It involves describing what exists, determining the frequency with which something occurs, and categorizing information. Like for example, extent of therapeutic intervention among COVID-19 patients. Ethnographic research refers to the investigation of a culture through an in-depth study of the culture members. It involves a systematic collection, description, and analysis of data to develop theories of cultural behaviors. It studies people and ethnic group in their settings. For example, oral traditions of Tausug people in Holo. Experimental research is a type of research method in which you manipulate one or more variables. It involves objective, systematic, controlled investigation of phenomena. Its purpose is to predict and control phenomena and examining probability and causality among selected variables. It best establish a cause-effect relationship. Examples: an experimental study on the effects of vaccine on COVID patients. Exploratory research is a type of research conducted for a problem that has not been clearly defined. It serves as preliminary research to clarify the nature of the problem to be solved and addresses research of all types: what, why, and how. Example: plastic use and its impact on the environment. Historical research is one involving an analysis of events that occurred in the past. It can show patterns that occurred in the past and over time, which can help see where we came from and what kind of solution we have used in the past. Example: Zamboanga Siege, a historical account.
Phenomenological research is inductive descriptive research developed from phenomenological philosophy. It aims to describe an experience as the person lives it. It is concerned with the study of experience from the perspective of individuals. It emphasizes the importance of a personal perspective and interpretation. Example is lived experience of teachers in island schools.
And lastly, action research involves the application of the steps of the scientific method in the classroom problems. This type of research is done on a very limited scope. This type of research is helpful for beginning researchers. Example: teaching strategies of senior high school teachers in mathematics.
So that was all about the characteristics, processes, and ethics of research, differences of quantitative research from qualitative research, and examples of research in areas of interest. Again, this is Group 8. We hope you've learned. Thank you for watching and listening.